Hey there, I'm Amy Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace filled ways to take care of themselves. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. This is another episode of Ask the Trainer where I have question or where I answer questions you may have about your eating, movement, or how they work together. We are in the middle of a series focused on track workouts. If you did not catch last week episodes on why I want you to try a track workout in the first place, go back and listen to that. It is in the show notes. But today I want to talk about something that you may not even know is something that you need to know. But we don't know in things until we don't know that we don't know them. So and then we know them, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's talk about track etiquette. Now, the first time I was ever introduced to track etiquette, I was doing a track program, just kind of a speed work program at a local high school. And there was this fantastic running coach who just really broke it down for us and helped us understand all the ins and outs of track workouts. And those have always stuck with me. So let's talk a few things that I would like you to know when you are walking into a track, and that will help it make it more successful for you and for everyone else who is there. The first thing to know is in general, you want to run counterclockwise. Now, before you go in there and just assume that that's the way that you want to do it, make sure you look around. Sometimes they have signs posted where it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday is counterclockwise wise, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday is clockwise. They do this so that way they can uh the track does not wear down as quickly. Just look around and see if you see any signs for that and obey the signs. But in general, counterclockwise is the way that you want to go. Now, there are typically 8 lanes in a 400-meter track. Lane 1 is for the fastest, and then it moves out into lane 8. Now, I'm not talking about, like, seating and heats and all of that for events. I'm just talking about in general use for the track. If you are coming with a friend of yours and you guys are just kind of planning on running around, for several miles, then I recommend going in maybe lane 5 or 6. Now, granted, if you do that, then you're going to be doing more than 400 meters around the track, but that's okay. It's not significant unless you're doing miles upon miles upon miles, and it will also keep those first few lanes open for those who are going to be moving a little bit faster. So lane 1 is better for those who are going to be moving a lot faster. Lane 8 is more for a slower. Now, the speed work that I have been doing, just for whatever it's worth, I typically go in about lane between lane 4, 5, and 6, where I run the straights. So I'm running for 100 meters in the straight section, and then I walk the curves. I've just given up one of my track workouts I'm going to share later, but that's one of them. Anyway, I do that. And so I stay kind of in the middle of the width because that way it allows people to run past me, and then I may be passing people who are just walking or running a little bit slower, and so we're kind of doing a back and forth type thing. But that's the general rule in terms of speed. The other thing is learn what the public hours are for that track. Probably it is multi-purpose and multi-use. So you may have programs that are using it, you might have schools that are using it, and the hours should be posted either there or somewhere online. And so just educate yourself. If there is a huge team, whether it is school related or club team that's practicing, then typically the coaches I shouldn't say typically, but my experience is coaches don't care if you're on there, but go in lane 8. Don't start taking up lanes 1 through 5, especially because they're gonna be working with their athletes on there. And if possible, go up to the coach and say, "Hey, I'm just wanting to run around, or I'm just wanting to walk or do some sprints. Do you mind if I go on lane 8?" And hopefully they say yes. I mean, I guess just kind of gauge that, but just be aware of hours that are available for public use. Another one is whatever lane you choose to go in, stay in your lane. This is for your safety. Just like when we drive a car, we want to stay in our lane and not just mindlessly go in between the lanes because we could get hurt, we could get in an accident. Same thing on the track. If you are walking, say in lane 6, and if someone is coming up and doing sprints and they're in lane 5, I mean, if it's a crowded track, then they should be staying in their lane. But if you just wander over, there's a really good chance that someone could be coming up behind you and you guys are going to collide one way or the other. Nobody is going to be happy with that. Just make sure that you stay in your lane. Just like when you're in a car and you look over your shoulder or you look in your mirrors, and if you're lucky enough to have the blind spot monitoring and you make sure that no one's coming up, do the same thing on the track. If you're going to switch lanes, just look behind your shoulder, take a quick look, and make sure that nobody is coming because we do want to stay safe when we are out there moving. If you enjoy music, and I know I do, I listen to a lot of different things, but if you enjoy music, make sure it's not so loud that you aren't aware of your surroundings. You may have someone coming up behind you, like we just talked about, and you need to be able to hear them. You may have someone hollering at you trying to communicate if there are other people on the track. Just be aware of your surroundings. And the best way to do that is just not be blasting your music, so loud that you can't hear anything. Again, just like in the car, we teach our kids not to have their music so loud they can't hear if an emergency vehicle is coming, and you wanna be able to hear if someone up is coming up behind you. Okay, another one you would think would, um you would think that you would know, but I this comes from experience. No food on the track and no french fries. Because I saw a french who brings french fries on the track? Who brings french fries on the field in between the track? I do not get this. I do not understand. Do not bring your french fries on the track or any other food, specifically things that can get really gummy. I know sometimes athletes will choose or will have like little, gummies for sport gummies, something like that. If you're going to take that, make sure it only goes in your mouth and it doesn't fall out of your pocket or anywhere else to go on the track where we're stepping on it and it's sticky and it's gross and all of that kind of stuff. So preferably just don't bring food. And then finally, uh, don't puke on the track. I mean, I hope that you are hydrated. I hope you have had the right nutrients so that you are not getting nauseous and you are not feeling like you need to throw up. This is a whole chapter in my book called Your Worthy Body. There's a chapter in there called Pass the Bucket because people tend to think that you have to run until you throw up. That's a whole nother tangent. I'm not going to get into that, but you do not need to be throwing up. And especially if you need to, please step off the track. Go to the grass that's around it. Find a trash can. And I get it. I'm not meaning to shame. I have people in my life who are pukers. I mean, some people just naturally throw up when they exercise a little bit more than others. If you are a puker, please don't throw up on the track. It's gross. And yeah, I'm gonna leave us on that one. No puking on the track. But I hope that provides you with a little bit more information as you walk in. I hope you're trying some more I hope you're trying some track workouts or you are thinking about it. Come back for the next few weeks where we talk about warming up at the track and what are some things that we can do. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a great